I believe we all know that one person who peaked in high school, where senior year was their greatest and highest moment in life. And they were thinking, my God, I think I'm going to go on and do so many great things in this world, because that's what everybody kept telling them on the way to that journey. They were out there giving that great commencement speech at graduation. They were beyond valedictorian, straight A student, obviously. They were lethal in sports. They were a collegiate athlete, had all the looks, homecoming king. But something happened to them at some point in time. They went on to the next level. Things just didn't quite go their way. They didn't quite, adapt to that next environment like they thought they would. They were no longer the shit. They were no longer king of the campus. Where they walked, people just looked at them like an everyday normie. And that bothered them. They were like, I'm above this. I'm not normal. I'm great. I was homecoming king. I was valedictorian. And people were like, we don't give a shit. This is college. All that's erased now. Blank slate. You can start over and become a completely different person now. I mean, I know all sorts of people who did that when I went to college. All I know is those people weren't like that in high school, and they completely changed by the time they went to college. Me, I kind of changed by the time I went to college. I didn't really change. I just became way more outgoing than I was when I was in high school. Like, I always was able to talk and, get along with folks, but I didn't always just go out. I didn't go to any high school parties. We weren't invited, mostly because me and my best friend were kind of like outlawed, mostly due to him and the fact that he ran his mouth all the time. He trolled people consistently, like all the most, popular athletes in the school and shit like that. And I was guilty by association. So since he didn't get invited, I didn't get invited. So I spent a lot of time playing Madden and playing ball, improving my craft, trying to get to the next level. But anyway, I had a different journey than this person that I'm describing here. The person who got to college and didn't peak anymore. They can no longer, adapt to the environment. When things change, when things hit the fan, they fell apart. It's the whole gripe I have against people who win all the time in college football. So if you're going to draft a quarterback, I'd like them to have lost at some point in time. People who win every game, those people don't handle adversity very well. If all you do is win and you get to the point where you finally start losing on a consistent basis, because you're going to lose at some point in time in life, how do you handle that? And not all of those quarterbacks handle that shit very well. There's plenty of them that just win all the awards. They win all the trophies, all the state championships. Then they go to college, they win the Heisman Trophy. Then they win the national championship, or they compete at a ridiculously high level where they only lose a couple of games. Then they get to the pros in their very first season, they lose 10 games and they completely crash out, and then they don't become shit. Because their egos did not allow them to adapt to a normal environment, because they allowed themselves to believe that they were above that. Same as the person I'm describing in this story here today. Well, this person that I'm describing is Kanye West, because that's what led this man to being in this uniform. Being that type of person led him to being in this uniform. He peaked a long time ago. We used to all listen to Ye. Everybody used to bump Ye. Everybody loved Kanye, forgave Kanye for all sorts of ridiculous stuff. Went on to the national TV and said George Bush didn't like white people, and people were down for it. People were like, yes, you're speaking to us. You were doing it, Ye. Back when he was actually just full Kanye and not Yeezus and Yeezy and all this other stuff, before he started selling the shoes and the money. And the homeless brand that he was promoting out there that was actually selling and making a lot of money, before he crashed out again, started blaming folks. And now he's wondering why people won't let him see the kids when you're walking around in a Klansman outfit. And I'm just really confused about all that, but it doesn't shock me. None of this shocks me about Kanye, because we've all seen the writing on the wall for quite some time. This man is just desperate for attention. He wants clout so bad. He wants it more than Myron. Dude, he is just calling out all the greatest people that you can possibly find, all the people at the top of the chain, clamoring and, claiming to be a part of this conspiracy of people that get knocked off and killed. But yet he is still spewing all the stuff he's spewing, and he's still living. He's still walking the streets. I know he's looking homeless, but people know what Kanye looks like. He's got the swollen jaw still. That hasn't went away. He's still a gay fish, and he still likes fish dicks. He's still Kanye. He's still the same dude. But the thing is, he peaked forever ago. He peaked back at graduation, and we just didn't realize it. My Dark Twisted Fantasy or whatever, that was actually probably where he peaked. That was a great album. And then after that, he just wasn't the same. His mama died, whatever conspiracies you want to believe go into that or whatnot. Hey, it is what it is. All I know is she's gone, and his mind definitely went with it. It was probably gone before that. Obviously, this is what narcissism leads to. This is why when people are around folks who can't take accountability, always blame others, that everything is centered around them. This is eventually what they can become if you don't kill that disease. This is peak main character syndrome in its fullest form. Final boss level. All the acronyms that you want to use. It's sad, but I don't care. Like, who really cares that Kanye's doing this at this point in time? Obviously, the Jews don't care. Apparently, the folks that are supposed to be after him the most don't care that much because they still haven't gotten him. Apparently, he's on, some plane to Japan. And heck, he's probably already there now, but I don't know. Whole thing was weird. It was really strange. I actually almost felt bad for DJ Akademiks. I mean, considering that fat ass was out there, like, and all the stuff he's been accused of. I'm glad that I guess he sobered up for 5 minutes to have this interview where he asked a couple of questions and none of them were answered for 2 hours of just Kanye ranting, basically, which is just what he does. It's just what he does. Anybody who just speaks in, nonstop run-on sentences that never end, no punctuations, they're crazy. They're not to be trusted. They're not somebody whose information you should take overly serious because a lot of it is met with delusion. It's always filled with a bunch of holes, straight up Swiss cheese. You can't trust it because half of it is built around being crazed. And I'm also one of those people who's getting tired of somehow making excuses for folks that have these diseases. They exist, they do. But why is it that we have diseases? Like, it's just hard for me to believe that disease exists where a person basically is a completely evil, manipulative, conniving, narcissistic piece of shit son of a bitch. And the other half, they're just somewhat passable. And we're supposed to make excuses and like these folks forever when they never actually proved to be a decent person at any point in time. They never give anything to anybody. They only take credit for the stuff they do because they are God in their own minds. And I don't understand why we keep caping up for these folks. Throw them in the trash, throw them in the wood chipper, just let them go ahead and turn into fertilizer. They don't need to be here. Not saying kill them off, but mentally we need to let them go. We need to let Ye go. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Hopefully that made some sense. I just started ranting. See you soon.